Joining us tonight, Narinder Batra, President of Hockey India. We're also being joined by Olympian and former hockey captain Jagbir Singh, athlete Ashwini Nachappa, someone who's worked very actively to clean up sports administration in India as well, and writer and cricket commentator Kishore Bhimani is with us also as we take this discussion really beyond just the hockey incident to look at other such displays in sport. But Narinder Batra, I would like to come to you first, sir. The International Hockey Federation was letting this matter go with just an apology from the Pakistan hockey coach. It was then that you decided, Hockey India decided to take a very tough stand about this, suspending bilateral ties with Pakistan hockey and also saying that you will not, Hockey India will not host any event supported by the world body. Do you believe that action against the Pakistan hockey team came only after your tough stand?
Well, whether it has come after our tough stand or they took a call on themselves, that is a different point. But this action should have been taken in the first instance yesterday. These particular rules existed on paper yesterday also. The photographs were available yesterday also. I think FIH needs to look why the tournament director decided to brush this incident under the carpet, which is not good for any sport. You cannot be gesturing and using vulgar signs, which is not acceptable. All sports are gentlemen's games. And if FIH decided to overlook, that is when we decided to take a call. And if FIH has taken this decision after our strong threats, so be it. But I am happy action has been taken.
So what do you think made the World Hockey Body change its mind? What changed between accepting the apology and saying that was enough, and then several hours later coming up and actually handing out this one-match ban and a reprimand to a third player? So you believe this is India taking a tough stand. You're still not happy with the amount of punishment being meted out at this stage. But Jagbir Singh, come in on this as a player, as a former captain, as an Olympian, as someone who's been closely associated with the sport for so many years. How do you see this ban playing out, or the entire developments of the last few hours since yesterday? Since it was a riveting match, a very close match. It went down to the wire in that sense. The behavior by the players immediately after that. Uncalled for, absolutely shameful incident by the players. See, their frustration of losing the Asian Games to India and not qualifying for the Olympic Games is a completely different story. The same crowd gave them a standing ovation when they won their match in the quarterfinals to play against India. In Bhubaneswar, the best part about the crowd is they understand hockey. They support the team which plays good hockey. And yesterday, it was their team, it was their home team which was playing. The sentiment and emotions are bound to be there. And any player on the field knows that it's the crowd which will cheer the home team for sure. Now, showing their fingers and using their hands, these hands and fingers are supposed to be used on the hockey stick and on the field and not towards the crowd. And FIH Code of Conduct for the players, umpires or official clearly states it, that none of such incidents or acts can be accepted. So I totally agree with the President of Hockey India that he is not happy with that ban. And even if FIH has taken this stand of banning these two players, missing the final, Pakistan is sure to lose a lot in this preparations before the finals. Kishore Bhimani, I want to just sort of widen this a bit to look at other sports. The kind of scenes we saw play out on that field in Bhubaneswar were rather reminiscent of at least one cricketing incident that I think everyone's going to think of, and that's Sourav Ganguly on the Lord's balcony after the NatWest victory. Do you believe that perhaps the so-called gentleman's game has actually made it more acceptable to have kind of outbursts and displays like this on the sporting field? And is it now increasingly sort of almost acceptable behavior?
You know, Ankita, I really believe that between India and Pakistan, it's a sign of the times. Today, there's so much emotion running absolutely wild, whether it be border incidents, whether it be sporting disciplines, whatever. I have seen these two countries, India and Pakistan, play hockey in so many tournaments for the last 40 odd years, starting at 1972 in Munich. And there is always going to be, I repeat the sentiments of the two gentlemen who spoke before me, there is always going to be support, home team support. I recall Pakistan, the match in Lahore where in 1978, it was a tour undertaken after such a long time, where it was a very tense match, where post-tea, Bishan Bedi's Indians and of course Pakistanis led by Mushtaq Mohammed, it was a very tense match. The crowd, if Indians took a wicket, there was not a whisper in the crowd. If the Indians did badly, if there was when Imran Khan took a wicket, when Imran Khan hit a six
okay,
towards
of course,
the
crowd behavior is going to be partisan
what really
in that
happened
sense.
was,
but do players have to be professional when
it's going to be partisan?
Yes.
If a sportsman cannot take partisan crowds, he's not a sportsman. He doesn't belong at the world level. Because if you do not, I mean, whether it happens in Olympic Games, whether our poor boxing lady is involved, whether it happens in hockey, in cricket, in any sport at all, and especially India-Pakistan, I think the players should be motivated and told, please behave yourself.
Right.
You are on a wider stage. It's a larger
perhaps
picture.
Even more important when it is an India-Pakistan fixture, because I think people are sort of watching out for every last little gesture and how events play out on the field. But Ashwini Nachappa, come in at this point. Kishore Bhimani mentions Sarita Devi, and India has taken a very strong stand when it comes to Sarita Devi. What is the difference really? Between being ungracious in victory, as Pakistan team clearly was, and being ungracious in defeat, as Sarita Devi was when she tried to give her own medal to her opponent. Where is the difference, and are we taking double standards here then?
I mean, you really cannot compare what happened to Sarita Devi and what happened last evening. I mean, what we saw when a crowd, especially I must appreciate the crowd, which really was applauding the true game of hockey. The players that played well, they were, applauding their performance. I mean, it's never happened before that such, obscene gestures were made to the crowd, which actually was applauding the Pakistani team. And what happened yesterday, I mean, I must appreciate the decision taken by Mr. Narendra Batra, who was very, very firm. And we cannot allow such things to happen on our soil. Of course, tension runs high in every sport, in every event, especially when India-Pakistan plays. What happened yesterday reminds me of 1988, I think, or 87, when we went to Pakistan for the SAF Games. We went to watch the Indian team play against Pakistan in the volleyball match. I mean, I had an event, so the other teammates went, and in that match India lost in the finals, and the athletes were not able to come out of the stadium because the crowd went berserk on the Indian athletes there. So I wonder whether this is a cultural thing or whether it's just the way Pakistan players are going to be towards the Indian players. It's shameful, absolutely shameful,
these are very worrying
unacceptable.
concerns, but Narendra Batra, we've had various voices over here tonight saying perhaps it's a reflection in a sense of our times. But isn't it really up to sports administrators to diffuse tensions rather than aggravate them further? I mean, after all, we did have the Pakistan hockey coach tendering a written apology, saying that his players are going to bring flowers to the ground as an apology gesture to the audience. Why not be magnanimous about it? Why immediately say we're going to break off all bilateral relationships with Pakistan hockey? Isn't that just going to make things worse?
No, I think I have a difference of opinion over here. If this was a gesture, this should have come yesterday, not after a strong stand taken by Hockey India. If the Pakistani coach or the players want to give flowers, it's their goodwill, it's their gesture. Right now, I'm looking for an apology from President Hockey Federation. Too much has happened since yesterday. Their Secretary General called up our CEO and he's saying, what if the players were doing Bhangra? There's nothing wrong in it. If this is the mindset of Pakistan Hockey Federation, I'm sorry. Bye-bye Pakistan. We are not playing with you. We demand an unconditional apology. As long as it does not come, we don't want to deal with you. This may be your work culture, this may be your culture, this may be your way of living, this is not our way of living, and we don't want to deal with you any further until an unconditional apology comes from Pakistan.
Okay, so you're saying that you are not accepting the apology that the hockey coach has already tendered. That is not good enough for you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't deal with Pakistani coach, I deal with the federation and I deal with the Pakistan Hockey Federation until he gives an unconditional apology. Thank you very much, Pakistan. We are not interested in dealing with you.
So you're saying no more India-Pakistan bilateral hockey until the federation, the Pakistan Federation itself
I think if any player cannot...
Absolutely no.
Yes, Ashwini, go ahead.
I think if, any player or any sports person who does not respect a fellow sports person or their competitor or the nation that they're playing in, they don't deserve to be players at all. I mean, that's what sports teaches you. Sports teaches you discipline. It teaches you respect for one another. I mean, if this is the kind of game that one is going to be playing, I don't think they should be playing at all.
Fair point, but I'm just going to bring this back, and I'm really actually playing devil's advocate only for the sake of playing devil's advocate here. Kishore Bhimani, you brought up the instance of Sarita Devi. How are the two instances really different? Maybe there's a matter of degree here. Perhaps the difference is that one was ungracious in defeat, the other was ungracious in victory. But if all sports people, all athletes have a responsibility to dignify the game, to have a certain standard of behavior, then how is it that we stand by our own, but when it comes to our opponents, we suddenly get all holier than thou?
Well, the answer to that is very simple. The Sarita Devi issue, the comparison is that while the association did not immediately stand behind Sarita Devi, at least Narendra Batra and company have stood behind, taken immediate action and really shown that we are not going to stand for any nonsense. I am very happy with that after seeing 42 years of sport. But one small matter in which I disagree with the sentiments expressed, why can't we show a little bit of bigness of heart? Our hockey association comprises people who've been in the job for a long time, who've been in the association, been in the sport. If you take for one issue like that, if you're going to break off relations, it is a couple of kids, couple of pesky kids who have done this kind of thing. They've been taught their lesson that, okay, you've been banned for one match. I think it should end there. That's it. We must show a little bit of bigness of heart instead of at every level breaking of relations, breaking of talks, breaking of this. The fact is they did disgusting things. But I don't think we should say that we are not going to play hockey with you. We are going to take a panga on various issues.
Jagmeet Singh and Mr. Narendra Batra wanting to refute that. Mr. Batra, I'm going to come to you in a moment.
India has always shown bigness of heart towards Pakistan. It's time to be firm now.
Okay, it's time to be firm, and I think Hockey India has been that, but Jagmeet, yes.
I really appreciate the stand which Hockey India has taken, especially Dr. Batra. What he said is absolutely right. Why should we accept it? First of all, I remember 1990 we were playing the World Cup in Lahore, and the hostile crowd were throwing stones and they were throwing water bottles on us, and the match was stopped. In which FIH intervened. They said, in case you guys are not comfortable, we'll stop the match and we'll take action against the Pakistan Hockey Federation. And we were, the sportsmanship, the spirit which our coach MP Ganesh then showed was, no, it's okay, you just control the crowd, we'll play the match, because the match is to be played in the sportsman spirit.
It's one controversy we've clearly not seen the end of just yet. What is this going to mean, though, for sports in general, for larger notions of sportsmanship and magnanimity? Well, that's a thornier question. We'll have to end it there tonight, but I'd like to thank all our panelists for joining us on this discussion. Kishore Bhimani, Narendra Batra, Jagmeet Singh, Ashwini Nachappa. Thank you for being on this discussion tonight.